Hi everybody, it's Richard here again, and welcome to my response to the "If I Was a God" thread that's going around at the moment. It was set up by Alan Static Traveller, the Bob Harris of the VC, and this is actually quite a difficult thread to do because you have to think about it, and it's taken me a while, but here goes. There's 9 questions. So the first question is, show a record you would improve by either adding or removing a track. Well, I'm going to remove one and then I'm going to add one and put it in its place. And it's from Ziggy Stardust, or The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust, Spiders from Mars to be precise. And I would take off the final track on side 1, It Ain't Easy. And I would add in the song Velvet Goldmine, which was recorded around the same time, and it was originally supposed to be put on the album. I don't like it, It Ain't Easy. I just don't think it's a great song. It's a cover version. Ron Davis was the songwriter, but I would still have put it on one of the B-sides, to have it. But Velvet Goldmine is a far better song, and it didn't get featured until it became a B-side itself in 1975, and the B-side Space Oddity, which got to #1. So that's my question 1. Question 2, show a record by an artist you would resurrect from the dead. And that is Mark Bolan, of course. He died very young in 1977. He was only 29 years old. And I would love to see the musical direction he would have taken in the 80s, especially the early 80s, whenever there tended to be a bit of a glam revival, because people like Slade were having hits again. Alvin Stardust was having hits, as was Gary Glitter, and even The Sweet hit the top 75 with a couple of remixes. So I would love to have seen how Mark Bolan would have got on in the 80s. I think he would have had a bit of a revival and then probably faded away again near the end of the decade. But definitely Mark Bolan died far too young. Question 3, which record would you obliterate from the face of the earth, erasing all memories of its existence? Well, I could take a hold of Neil Young's catalogue and blow it up, or anything to do with David Crosby and blow it up. But I'm picking artists that I really like, and the one that just jumps out at me is Elton John's Victim of Love. Now, this is his disco album from 1979. All he does on this is sing, so he doesn't play any instruments. He didn't write any songs. There is one decent song off it, the title track, but it's so samey and it's just pure disco. And he actually does a version of Johnny Be Good, the Chuck Berry song, which is dreadful, and it's about 8 minutes long too. So this was sandwiched between A Single Man and 21 at 33, but no, you forget about this one. It's awful. Question 4, show a record cover which displays the power of nature. And this is Roger McGuinn's Cardiff Rose, and you see the sailing ship out at sea with the choppy seas, with the cyclone, or is it whirlwind. And so yeah, absolutely beautiful cover. But huge clouds and that shit looks in trouble. But it's a very strong album, and it's actually better than some of the Byrds albums. So I think this is from around 1975 or so, 1975, 76. So Roger McGuinn's Cardiff Rose. Alright, which 3 musicians would you Frankenstein together to produce a super musician? I found that a very freaky question, but I'll go with it. And Lindsey Buckingham, my favourite guitarist of all time. And I'm going to Frankenstein part of Benny Anderson for the keyboards. And then we need a clever dick that can do everything, and so that's going to be Mike Oldfield, who can play any instrument at all. So those are my 3. Question 6, show a record by a male and one by a female that I would save from the end of the earth to entertain me in heaven. Well, heaven is going to be a joyous place, so I want a couple of albums that are a little bit darker, because we don't want everything too happy. And I'm picking my favourite album of all time. It's Diamond Dogs by David Bowie, which is absolutely amazing. Yes, it is dark. You've got Big Brother, We Are the Dead, 1984, the fantastic Sweet Thing medley, and of course Rebel Rebel, Diamond Dogs. Absolutely brilliant album. And from a female, I have to show a CD because this has never been released on vinyl, and it's Tanita Tikaram and Sentimental. Now this is a very, very jazzy, very slow moving album. I love it. I hated it at the start. It took me ages to get into this, but now this has really jumped to be my favourite Tanita Tikaram album. And as I say, it is very jazzy, which is not my type of music, but this one just hits the button for me, and so it gets picked. Okay, show a record that depicts one of the 7 deadly sins. Well, I'm going to pick anger. I was going to pick lust. I was going to show the Cars Candio. I'm sure somebody else has shown that. And this is not really anger, but it is the angry young them. And they don't look overly happy. The guy there actually does look a little bit peeved off. And ironically, the happiest looking one of the lot is Van Morrison, and he's usually a miserable sod. So, the angry young them, and I think that's their debut album. So that's my choice. Okay, number 8. Show a record by an artist I would assign to hell for musical crimes to society. Well, I don't have the vinyl album. I do have the CD. But I was going to say I can't find it. I just can't be bothered looking for it. So it's this one here. Now, this sold by the bucket load and everybody seems to love this album. I just don't. I think their first album definitely, maybe, it was brilliant, even though there were some songs where they've obviously nicked little riffs and so forth from other songs. For example, Cigarettes and Alcohol is a complete steal of Get It On, and Shaker Maker is a bit of a steal from I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing. But this one too also steals. For example, Hello is nicked from Hello Hello and Back Again, even though I think they do actually credit Gary Glitter and Mike Leander on it. And She's Electric is slightly stolen from the Kinks' Wonder Boy. And I've always thought that Don't Look Back in Anger, the first bars of it sounded a bit like Imagine. But the album's boring. Wonderwall is a dreadful song, really boring. Champagne Supernova, I just can't have it all. Okay, some might say it's not bad, but Cast No Shadow, no. I think it's just a boring album. Another one is Morning Glory, sounds a bit like R.E.M. is the one I love. So that's the one I would assign to hell. Now you could say, well, what about the ones after that? They weren't as good, but the thing is, everybody realizes they were crap. This one, people don't seem to realise it because it sold so much. And I bought the CD as well, but that's the one that goes to hell for me. Okay, and number 9, which VC channel would I give 1,000,000 subs to? That's really difficult, and you know, I'm not going to cop out. I'm going to pick one, and I'll pick Martin Harris, because this channel is so diverse. He does everything. He's partly VC, partly videos, partly autographs, and at the moment he's actually doing a vlog in London. He's down there for a week to see, I think, every Divine Comedy show. A huge Divine Comedy fan, so he's been vlogging what he's been doing the whole week. 2 videos have been up so far and they're really interesting. So Martin, he's been on the YouTube for years, and I would like to see him get 1,000,000 subs so he could give up his work and just concentrate on doing that. Okay, so those are my 9 answers. Thank you again to Alan for setting them up. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.